Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of compact SUVs, but not just any SUVs. We're looking at the ones that just aren't flying off the lots. These are the vehicles that automakers probably don't want you to think about too much. The ones that end up way down on the sales charts, year after year. We're going to try and figure out what went wrong, why these SUVs just haven't quite resonated with buyers, even though they're in one of the hottest segments in the market. So buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the world of automotive underdogs. We'll examine their quirks, their flaws, and maybe even uncover a few hidden gems along the way. First up, we have the Fiat 500X. Now you might be thinking, wait, they still make that? Yes, they do, even though it sometimes seems like Fiat forgot they were selling it in the US. The 500X is supposed to be the bigger, more practical sibling of the adorable Fiat 500, capturing some of that Italian charm in a more spacious package. And to be fair, the 500X isn't a bad-looking SUV. It has some of those cute, retro-inspired design cues from the regular 500, which does give it a unique look in a sea of increasingly generic-looking compact SUVs. Plus, it's available in some fun, vibrant colors. But here's the thing, it just hasn't clicked with American buyers. Sales have been, well, let's just say lackluster would be a kind word. In 2022, Fiat only managed to move just over 2,000 of these in the United States. To put that into perspective, that's less than a tenth of what some of the top-selling compact SUVs are moving. So, what gives? Well, for starters, Fiat's reliability record in the US has been, shall we say, less than stellar. American car buyers tend to prioritize dependability, and Fiat hasn't exactly built a reputation for that. Plus, the 500X's interior, while stylish, doesn't quite match the premium feel you'll find in some of its competitors. And then there's the matter of brand recognition. Fiat hasn't been a major player in the US market for decades, and while they've made some inroads with the 500 and the 500L, they haven't been able to establish the same level of brand loyalty as some of the more established players in the segment. Next, we're taking a look at a compact SUV from a brand that's definitely no stranger to the American market, the Jeep Renegade. Now, the Renegade has a lot going for it, at least on paper. It's got that iconic Jeep styling, it's available with some serious off-road hardware, and it even comes with those little Easter eggs that Jeep loves to hide in their vehicles. But despite all that, the Renegade hasn't quite set the sales charts on fire. In fact, its sales numbers have been on a pretty steady decline since its debut in 2015. So, what's the deal? Why aren't more people clamoring to get behind the wheel of this pint-sized off-roader? Well, one factor could be its size. The Renegade is one of the smallest SUVs in its class, which can be a drawback for buyers who prioritize interior space. Sure, it's got that boxy shape that's supposed to maximize interior volume, but it still trails behind most of its competitors when it comes to cargo space and rear legroom. And then, there's the matter of fuel economy. While the Renegade isn't exactly a gas guzzler, it's not exactly a fuel-sipping champ either. Its fuel economy numbers are pretty middle of the road for the segment, which might not be impressive enough for buyers who are looking to save money at the pump. Another potential issue is the Renegade's on-road manners. While it's perfectly capable of tackling a dirt road or two, its ride quality on paved surfaces can be a bit, shall we say, busy. Some reviewers have described it as being a bit too stiff and bouncy, especially over rough pavement. Now let's talk about an SUV that seems to have gotten lost in the shuffle. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Remember Mitsubishi? They used to be a major player in the compact SUV game with the original Outlander. But these days, the Outlander Sport seems to exist in a sort of automotive purgatory, not quite forgotten, but not exactly top of mind for most car shoppers either. And that's a shame, because the Outlander Sport isn't a bad SUV. It's got a spacious interior for its size, it comes with a long warranty, and it's actually pretty affordable. So why isn't it selling? Well, one major factor is Mitsubishi's dwindling dealer network. Over the past decade or so, Mitsubishi has closed a significant number of dealerships across the country. This means that for many car shoppers, there simply isn't a Mitsubishi dealership conveniently located nearby. And when you're in the market for a new car, convenience is a big deal. Another issue is the Outlander Sport's age. It's been on the market for over a decade now, and it's starting to show its age. The design is getting a bit long in the tooth, the interior materials aren't as nice as some of its newer competitors, and it lacks some of the advanced safety features that are becoming increasingly common in the segment. Next up is an SUV that on paper should be a slam dunk: the Ford EcoSport. It's a Ford, for crying out loud. The Blue Oval is an American institution, and they've been cranking out hit after hit in the SUV market for years. So, what went wrong with the EcoSport? Well, for starters, it's important to understand that the EcoSport wasn't originally designed for the US market. It was initially developed for emerging markets like India and Brazil, where smaller, more affordable vehicles are in high demand, and while Ford did make some modifications to the EcoSport to better suit American tastes, it still feels a bit like a vehicle that was designed for a different market. One of the biggest complaints about the EcoSport is its awkward, somewhat ungainly styling. It's tall and narrow with a short hood and a high roofline. It's not exactly what you'd call a head-turner. And then there's the matter of its interior. While it's reasonably spacious for its size, the materials quality is a bit subpar, even for Ford. The EcoSport's driving dynamics have also been criticized. It's not particularly fun to drive, with sluggish acceleration and a somewhat harsh ride, and while it's available with all-wheel drive, it's not exactly what you'd call an off-roader. Let's move on to an SUV that's stuck in a bit of a tough spot: the Chevrolet Trax. Now, the Trax isn't a bad SUV by any means. It's relatively affordable, it gets decent fuel economy, and it's available with all-wheel drive. So why isn't it selling better? Well, one factor could be that it's simply outshined by its bigger, more popular sibling, the Chevrolet Equinox. The Equinox offers more space, more features, and a more modern design, all for a relatively modest price premium over the Trax. So, for many buyers, it just makes more sense to spend a little extra and get the Equinox. Another issue is that the Trax is starting to feel a bit dated. It was first introduced in 2013, and it hasn't received a major update since 2017. That means it's lagging behind the competition when it comes to things like interior technology and advanced safety features. Finally, we come to an SUV that, on the surface, seems like it should be a home run: the Hyundai Kona. It's stylish, it's packed with features, it's fun to drive, and it comes with Hyundai's legendary warranty. So, why is it languishing near the bottom of the sales charts? Well, one possible explanation is that the Kona is a victim of its own hype. When it was first introduced in 2018, it was met with rave reviews from automotive journalists who praised its stylish looks, peppy engine, and impressive list of standard features. But despite all the positive press, the Kona hasn't quite managed to connect with buyers in the same way that some of its competitors have. One factor that might be holding the Kona back is its polarizing styling. While some people love its quirky, unconventional looks, others find it to be a bit too busy and overstyled. And then there's the matter of its interior space. While the front seats are reasonably spacious, the rear seats are a bit cramped, especially for taller passengers. So there you have it. 6 compact SUVs that, for one reason or another, just haven't managed to capture the hearts or wallets of American car buyers. Whether it's due to reliability concerns, polarizing styling, or simply being overshadowed by their more popular siblings, these SUVs serve as a reminder that even in a hot segment like compact SUVs, not every vehicle can be a winner. But hey, maybe that's part of their charm. After all, who doesn't love an underdog? Perhaps one day these underappreciated SUVs will get their moment in the sun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Let us know in the comments which SUV surprised you the most.